All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone who has joined us here today. My name is Akinropo Akinola, and I'm the co-researcher at Piremark Consult LLC. So I want to welcome everybody today's first edition of our webinar where we are going to be having a conversation, series of conversation with mostly young fathers. So this is the first edition, like I said. A lot of people who are going to be here today, some of them, not a lot, some of them are already embedded fathers, because immediately we roll this banner out, when we rolled the event out, a lot of people really reached out to us that, is this meant for young fathers alone? And we said, well, it's meant for young fathers alone, but if anyone cares to join, they can join. So on this webinar today, we are going to have some fathers who are already 10 years and above, 20 years and above. Like I always tell people, that no one is above knowledge. We keep updating ourselves in order to get better every time in fatherhood and in parenting. So even some of us who have already done 22, 23 years in fatherhood and parenting, we still learn every day. We still read books every day. We still go to attend seminars every day. We have mentors, because we can never really stop learning if we want to really enjoy our parenting, enjoy our fatherhood. So I want to welcome everybody here today. So once you have joined, some people didn't really register. Some of them, they were not able to get the link to register. But please, let's share this link with some of our friends who are not really with us on our platform. Let's send it to them so that they can join us. Let's send it to them. Let's invite people. We are not going to extend this beyond 1 hour. Maximum 1 hour, 10, 15 minutes, we are done, because we really want to respect people's time. We want to respect your time. So for you to be here, it means that you have a lot of respect to us as conveners. So the same way, we want to respect your time also. So it's 8 o'clock here in Nigeria. So let's see whether we can wait for the next 1 or 2 minutes to see who is here to join us again. Okay, so we go finally. Thank you once again to everyone who has joined us in this meeting today. I want to appreciate your time. We are not taking your time, your energy, your resources, and everything you have put in place to be here today. We are not taking it for granted. It's a great privilege uh, for having you around us. So the topic is the first 5 years in fatherhood, from new dad to confident dad. I want us to pay attention to these teachings very well, because this teaching is going to be anti-cultural. It's going to be anti-cultural, anti-cultural. I'm sorry to say that, because a lot of things many fathers don't really pay attention to. A lot of things we don't really pay attention to. I've seen many fathers who are of the opinion that regardless of how many years, regardless of how many resources we have deposited, we have deployed rather into parenting, into fatherhood, that our children will always, appreciate their mother in old age more than they appreciate fathers. And I want to let you know that this is really possible, because if fathers are not really intentional about investing emotionally into parenting, there is likelihood that the children would only know the mothers, because the children are more receptive, the children are more close to the mothers, just because of some situations on ground. Because I've seen many fathers that the only thing that they know or they think they can do is just for them, to provide the money, everything, all those things, they even route this money through the mother. I don't have any problem with all this. It is good. It's the same, nurturing, it's the same provision that we're giving them. But when children don't really feel the father emotionally, they don't feel the pulse of the father, they don't feel the need of the father, they are so distant. They are so distant, right, from the fathers. And at old age, a child or children that you have not really invested in emotionally, it may be difficult for that children or for that child to really know you, to appreciate you in old age. And that is why we are making this, throwing this at the front burner now, that the first 5 years. So in this class, we are going to learn on how to start early. Then again, we are going to learn on how to repair. Let me say that again. We are going to learn on how to prepare, and we're going to learn on how to repair. So in case you are a father here, whether you are watching or you're still going to be watching this later, you have not really prepared very well, this is the time for you to do the repair. It's going to be seamless in the art of repairing some of the strategies we're going to be sharing with us today. So don't forget, I said all the tips we're going to be sharing today, they are going to be anti-cultural. They are not really something that we are used to. They are not really something that we are used to. A lot of people will really they want to pick hole in it because it is not the conventional way of fatherhood. Now let's go. So now, what is your biggest hope or fear about fatherhood right now? I want us to type in the comment section on the YouTube. Type in the comment section. I want to be reading. What is your biggest or are your biggest hope or fear about fatherhood right now? Share with us. Share with us your hope or your fear about fatherhood now. Don't forget, like I said, this is something I want us to learn together. We are learning together. We are learning together. So what is your biggest hope or fear about fatherhood? You want to share with us? What is your biggest fear or hope about fatherhood? So let me share my own. When I started my own, the fear really is just that now I am a father. How am I going to succeed? How am I going to succeed as a father right now? That is the biggest fear. But my biggest hope is that I'm going to raise a righteous or righteous descendants for God. I am going to raise righteous descendants for God. That is my hope. So let's hear yours. Okay, my biggest fear, I ask myself if I am good enough to be a father, and will I surpass my examinations that have been set by my dad? Oh, awesome. I love this. I love this. Yes, Akeju Pele, my biggest fear. Almost everybody has this fear, and it is expected that everybody will have it. And my biggest fear is I ask myself if I am good enough to be a father, and will I surpass my expectations that are set by my dad? This is a pointer to the fact that you had a dad, or you have a dad who is really there for you guys. So it's a good testimony of your dad. So that is a good one. So let's move further. So now I present to you the confidence equation. The confidence equation. If there is anything that everybody should need at all in parenting, in fatherhood, it is nothing but the confidence equation. Don't forget, being confident is not you having everything at a go. It's not you having everything as in walk in the park. No, it is not. It is not being excellent. Being confident as a dad, it is how you are making the best of the available resources that you have right now. And that is why you have this equation. Being confident means you need knowledge, you need constant practice and renewed mindset. You need knowledge, you need practice, and you need renewed mindset. As a father, you can't imagine that you want to be static as a father. You can't stay at a particular position as a father. As a father, when you married your wife, when children start to come in, you can't continue to remain the same. You need to seek knowledge. As you seek knowledge, you need to practice. As you practice, you need to renew your mindset, because we are in a jet age. Somebody said we are migrants into a tech world, but our children are natives. These children, they're going to have knowledge more than we know about IT, about tech, about AI, about how to handle a smart device, how to handle them. So how are you updating yourself as a father? What kind of knowledge are you getting? How are you putting this knowledge into practice? Then how daily are you renew your mindset? So we move to the first level of the teaching here today. The first level of the teaching in you getting being a confident dad is the key mindset shift from assistant mom to co-nurturer of the family. From assistant mom to co-nurturer of the family. You know, I said something earlier on. I said what we're going to be discussing here is going to be anti-cultural. It's going to be anti-cultural. Gone were the days when our wives give birth, and the next thing we do was just to take the back seat, stay in the sitting room, be gisting with the friends who came to visit us, to rejoice with us. I'm talking about before the naming ceremony now. They came to rejoice with us, and we're watching TV, we're throwing banters, leaving the wife who just gave birth and some of our friends or some of the aunties who came around in the kitchen to be working, to be doing stuff. So your first job as a father is you need to shift your mindset from assistant to mom to co-nurturer of the family. You are a co-nurturer. It is no longer relevant again for us to say women, our wives, are natural nurturer. I've heard many people say that women are nurturer. They are naturally nurturer. Naturally nurturers, meaning that fathers are providers. It is true, but that assertion, that belief has outlived its usefulness. So the first job as a co-nurturer is the emotional anchor. Fathers, you are the emotional anchor. What does this mean? It means your role as the emotional anchor is to provide a unique, secure base of emotional stability and comfort. What are you expected to do here? You're expected to co-nurture by being a consistent, calm, and physically affectionate presence. This is not just about being the fun parent. It's not just about playing around with them, but about being a dependable source of safety where big feelings, what are these big feelings? The fear, the frustration, and anger can be landed and soothed. Your deep voice, your strong hug, your steady presence during a meltdown teaches emotional regulation and that they are always safe with you. Let me say this. How many of us know that our wives, they go through postnatal trauma? Postnatal trauma. I didn't know when I started early because I knew my wife wasn't just getting it right. At that time, I was like, what is the issue? It was after some years that I got to know what happened to her at that particular time was just postnatal trauma. What do you do at this particular moment as a dad, as a father of a young child, or as a father of a young woman? You provide emotional anchor. So the second one is the playful connector. You as a father, in renewing your mind, in shifting your mindset, you are the playful connector. What do you do here? Your role is to build confidence, resilience, and brain development through physical and exploratory play. Being a playful connector. Fathers often engage in more rough and tumble, unpredictable and risk-taking play, e.g., tossing in the air, climbing, or mock wrestling. This style of play is crucial. This is for the babies now. This type of play is crucial. It teaches children to read social cues, manage excitement, and assess physical risk and trust their own bodies. As a co-nurturer, you are not just entertaining, you are teaching vital life skills through joyful interaction. You are teaching life skill through joyful interaction. You are not just sitting down in the home, in the house, playing around. I know we have to go to work. We'll go to work, but the moment we come back, these are the things that we take onto. I posted it a few days ago on my Facebook account. What I posted there is that we may not need 24 hours a day to connect and relate with our children. There is what I call, is there on my Facebook, there's something I called 10 minutes miracle. The 10 minutes miracle will do the magic in how we connect with our children. So the third one here is the daily care involvement. The daily care involvement, you could call it the daily care equalizer as you want, right? What is your role here as the daily care involvement? You are to be fully competent and proactive partner in the daily unglamorous work of child rearing. True co-nurturing is shown in the routine. It is knowing the pediatrician's name, doing bath, bedtime, solo. All those things we need to learn. If you are a father here, you don't know how to back a child, or you don't know how to strap a child on your chest, these are the things you need to know. You know, I said it earlier on that a lot of things that we take for granted made some children to forget their fathers in old age. We are not bonding. We are not really investing emotionally in them. So this is part of what we can do in investing emotionally in the life of our children and our wives. You need to connect with the children, know how to babysit, you know how to spread the bed sheet, you know how to clean the baby, you know how to even feed the baby. Not breastfeeding now, but a lot of things you must know how to do. How to bathe the baby, how to cream the baby, how to carry them with tender care. We need to know that. So the next one is the linguistic partner. Present a wider worldview for the children. What do you do here? Your role here is to actively develop language, curiosity, and a unique window to the world. Fathers often use more complex vocabulary and narrative language. Let's investigate why this car rolls faster. These are the things that the children really want to connect with. You know, when we have these children, even from like age 0, like 6 months, they are looking at us. They want to see how you are connecting. They want to hear the language that you are speaking to them. Please, gone were the days when we will be doing like this to the children. So please, speak louder. Speak audibly for the children. Speak correct language to them. Begin to ask them, you want to eat? Why are you crying? Do you want me to carry you? Those are the things you need to do. You don't leave that with the children alone. Let me say this. The reason why you need to do that, when a child is just giving birth to, like few hours, when a child is crying, when they place the child in the hand of his or her mother, why do we think that particular child stops crying? Because the child has lived with the mother for the past 9 months in the womb. The baby sucks from the mother's womb. From the mother's womb. It reads the emotion of the mother. When the mother feels sad, the baby knows. Now, when the child has been given birth to, it is now left for the fathers to now connect. Because let me say this, psychologically, it's been proven right that the first 3 years of the baby the only parent that the baby knows is the mother. The first 3 years, because this is the person that he has lived with while in the fetus. He doesn't know you, dad. So for the child to know you when he's been born, we need, as fathers, we need to invest in the life of the child emotionally. So the last one on key mindset shift, the relationship model. Your role here is to nurture the child indirectly by actively nurturing the primary adult relationship and modeling respect. What do you do here? The single most important thing you can do for your child is to love and respect their other parent, and that is the mother. This means visible teamwork, conflict resolution with kindness, verbal appreciation, and sharing of leisure time. A child who sees parents as a united, supportive team gains immense emotional security. You nurture the child's environment, which is the family itself. So what I have explained here is just the foundation of what we need to do. So now the first phase of the newborn baby, master what? Master of the daddy domain. Master of the daddy's domain. Your responsibility here is to own and excel at one or two key daily care rituals, creating predictable, comforting touch points for the baby. Why does this matter? It matters because it builds unique bonding and gives your partner a relative break. It transforms you from an assistant to a primary competent caregiver in the baby's eye. The baby sees that you are not just leaving the nurturing to the mom alone. Please don't joke. The moment these babies open their eyes, they begin to see, they begin to connect, they begin to comprehend, even though they don't have the cognitive and the ability to voice out that this is what is happening. The husband who shouts at the wife when the baby is around 12 months, 6 months, even 3 months, even 2 months, the baby is recording. The baby is knowing what is happening at that particular time. Fathers, we need to do better. Then the second one, which is the primary play and sensory explorer. What do we do here as fathers? Our responsibility is to be the main facilitator of playful, physical, and visual stimulation that differs from the mother's typical calming style. Why does this matter? It matters because the type of play develops motor skill, visual tracking, and a sense of security through movement. It teaches the children the cause and effect and builds pure joy in our interactions. How do you do this? We do this by engaging elevator play, that is gentle lifting. When we are doing gentle lifting, we are connecting with the children. The children is looking at us. The children are looking, the child is looking at us, the child is smiling, and you are responding with the same smile. You are lifting the child gently, right? Again, how do you do it again? You use higher contrast toys and make expressive faces to help visual development. You narrate your actions during the play. All these actions, you narrate it. There is a course for fathers on how to play. If you don't know how to play, learn it. It is not enough for us to be providing money for the children alone without having the skill on how to connect with them naturally, how to connect with them emotionally. So how about the voice and language instigator? It is your responsibility to respond to them when they speak, when they try to say, da, 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 all those things they do. It is still the responsibility for us to do it. To respond to them. Sorry. The third one, keeper of the outside world. What do you do here? Your responsibility here is to manage the external environment. So the mother-baby relationship can focus on feeding and recovery, while you are the gatekeeper and problem solver. The gatekeeper and problem solver. The child safety safeguard, it is your responsibility. Why does this matter? It matters because it protects the crucial bonding and feeding process, reduces stress for your wife, and is a tangible way to nurture the whole family. It is a crucial bonding and feeding process, reduces stress for your partner, and is a tangible way to nurture the whole family. How do you do this? Through shield and filter. How to manage visitors, screen calls, and handle all how are they, the communications. Who is calling the wife? Who are the people coming to visit? Do you have your family constitution on how to set boundaries for the visitors, those who are not the inner court, those who are not the members of the inner court? How do you do this? You need to get your family constitution on how to set the boundaries. So it is still the responsibility of the dad. It is not the mom or the wife that will still be doing this while still breastfeeding and doing some stuff about the baby. So the next one is the voice and language instigator. Our responsibility here is to be a primary source of rich, varied language input from day one. Why does this matter? Babies are hardwired for language acquisition. Fathers often use more complex vocabulary and varied intonation, which directly supports cognitive and language development. I've seen some fathers who, on the account of where they are living, maybe they're living abroad, they don't want to speak the core traditional language to the children. I beg to disagree. Please let your children connect with your local language, with the local dialect. And psychology has proven, and psychologists have proven over time that children have the capacity, they have the cognitive ability to learn multiple languages at a go. They have it. Why do we think this is possible? Or how do you do this? Sing to them in your native language. Make silly sounds. Have conversation by responding to their kuhus. All those, respond verbally with right language. Sing. If you can sing to them, you can sing. In your local dialect, you can sing. The children are connecting. The children are connecting. So the next one, the night shift partner, you are the emotional regulator. If you go to work and the wife had been home nurturing the baby, she may not have the time to sleep at that particular time. It is the responsibility of the fathers, yes, to do the shifting. You can carry the baby. I recall when we were having our own, I think our daughter was around maybe 4 months or thereabout. When I went to work, I was still a banker then, and I came back. So my wife, immediately I came back, my wife just released the baby. She said, I've been carrying this baby for about 8 hours since we were not around. So please, you two carry. Then I carried a bit. I tried to play. So it was later my mother-in-law now came to collect the baby from my hand. That you two, you have gone to work since morning. So the same way your wife is working, so you go and relax. And I had to say, no, mommy, let me carry the baby for a while. That was the period of my unknowing. I didn't know all these things they were teaching now. I didn't know them. I did not know them. I learned it on the job. And with the help of the people around me, I learned. So now we move to the next phase, phase 2. Phase 2, this is the toddler, the tornado. 1 to 3 years, the playful guide. This is the moment that the children are beginning to become restless. They are restless. What are we going to do here? Our job here is to be the safe and confident play catalyst. The safe and confident play catalyst. How do we do this? Our responsibility here is to create a secure environment for physical exploration, risk-taking, and rough and tumble play. You are the guardians of safe enough. Don't forget, your first job in the home is to secure the safety of the wife and the children. You are the chief custodian of their safety. So what we need to do in this is to create a secure environment for physical exploration, risk-taking, moderate risk-taking. Don't forget, why does this matter? This type of play, often initiated more by fathers, is crucial for brain development, teaching risk assessment, building resilience, and strengthening the parent-child bond through shared joy and physical trust. At this level, 1 to 3 years, if we have the financial capacity, right, to register the children in a, what is the name of this? I've forgotten the name now. I will still recollect. When I recollect, I will say it here, right? Where they play Kung Fu, I'll get the right name for it. You can see what the father is teaching the daughter here. The daughter has the glove. The daughter has the glove in her hand. As the father is teaching this daughter, holding the daughter, he's teaching the daughter how to safeguard herself. He's teaching the daughter on self-defense. He's teaching the daughter on how to be kinetic in nature. Kinetic energy, right? All those ones. He's teaching the daughter on how to play. He's teaching the daughter on relationship. He's teaching the daughter emotional intelligence. A lot is happening here when we engage our children in this area. Then the second one is, at this stage from 1 to 3, you are the emotional coach, meaning that you know how to interpret tantrum. Don't forget, at this particular stage, children throw tantrums. They do a lot that require knowledge for the fathers to be able to really know what is going on. Our responsibility here is to help the toddler understand and manage their big, overwhelming emotions, especially frustration, anger, and disappointment, without dismissing them. We must be able to really acknowledge their emotions. When they're throwing that tantrum, allow them. It is not the time to beat them, and it is not the time to please them with what they want. What you think that they want and is not really good for them, it is not the moment to give them. I watched a video, a parent, they entered a superstore and they bought whatever they needed to buy. And this girl was about 3 years, was trying to pick some other things. And the father said no. And when they collected all those things that she picked from her hand, then she started throwing tantrums, rolling on the floor. But it's a good, if I lay my hands on the video, I will send it to our platform. Started rolling, but the dad did what intelligent, confident dad would do. He did it. He did not give the child those things she wanted. He made sure that he connected it from her, connected them from her, and allow her to really exhaust her anger, frustration. And when the guy was done, the guy stood up and the dad picked her up again and they headed straight to the car without beating, without shouting. The only thing he ensured that he did was to guide the girl so that she will not injure herself. The dad is emotionally intelligent, and the dad too is teaching the girl to be emotionally intelligent. Number 3, the boundary builder and firm but gentle enforcer. Look at what happened there. Your responsibility here is to consistently and calmly uphold the few clear family rules, providing structure and predictability. Why does it matter? Boundaries make toddlers feel safe in a chaotic world. A father's fair and firm but kind enforcement teaches cause and effect, self-control, and respect for limits. Do you understand? Be firm, but be kind. Set the boundary. At this level, this is where the right discipline culture is given to the child, is given to the children. The children must meet culture of discipline in the home before they were born into the house. It is not after when the children have come into the house that we now set the culture of discipline. The culture of discipline must first of all take place between the dad and the mom. The dad and the mom must first of all be obedient, must first of all be carrier of the culture of discipline in the home. So when the children start coming into that house, they look at the dad and they follow suit. So the responsibility here is for the dad to build that boundary, to set that boundary, be firm, and be gentle enforcer. Then the next one, which is the language and curiosity engineer. What is our responsibility here? To actively expand vocabulary, narrative skills, and curiosity about the world through interactive talk, reading, and exploration. Why does it matter? It matters because language explosion happens here. Fathers often use more complex sentence structures and explanatory language, directly boosting cognitive and communication skill. How do we do it? Read interactively. Ask from the children, what is that? What is this? What do you think about what is happening? We will still get there, maybe the next stage. I'm going to explain the children that we have now, their epic generation. Epic, E stands for their experiential, P stands for participatory, I stands for image driven, then C stands for connection. They are connected. So the language we want to use with them, the language you want to really exhibit with the children must be the language they understand. we must be able to come down to their level, not speaking over their head. We must be able to come to their level and they connect with what we are doing, we are saying. I will explain better in the next stage. Number 5, which is the life skill trainer. Our responsibility is to patiently foster I do it myself moments and model practical life skills for our children. Hello, daddies. At this age, from ages 1 to 3, these children can connect, they can do home chores. It is because we don't give them the opportunity to do it. And I have one experience here. It happened to my daughter when she was 3 years. When she was 3 years, she's 22 now. When she was 3 years, what happened? Anytime I was washing the car in the compound, this girl would bring additional bucket for me to get the water. She will carry one of the buckets to go and she will put it by the tap, turn the tap on, and because the bucket is so big, she want to carry it, drag it to where I was washing the car. Guess what I told her? I said, Madam, no. That one is too much for you. Go and sit down. Just be watching me. She would throw tantrum. No, let me help you. I said, go and sit down. It is not your job. Let me do it. This is too hard for you. When this girl was about 13 years old, and there was a day I called her, I said, oh yeah, please call your brother, go and help me wash the car. My girl told me point blank, Daddy, no, I can't. When I wanted to learn how to wash it very well, you did not allow me to wash it. Can you imagine that? She remembered what I did to her when she was 3 years old. So a lot of home chores like that they wanted to be doing at that particular time, but we didn't want to allow them to do it. We didn't want to allow them to do it. At this level, fathers, we must allow our children to do it. So from ages 3 to 5 years, this is preschool pioneer. This is the storyteller and mentor movement. The storyteller and mentor movement. This is where we imbibe in them the culture, the ethics, the value, and the virtues we hope for them. Our responsibility here is to consciously model and explicitly teach the family's core values through stories, discussion, and everyday action. Why does it matter? This is the age of why. The age they will be curiously asking you, why? Go and do this. Why? Go and do that. Daddy, why? Right? Why does it matter? Children are forming their internal moral code. A father's words and deeds are a primary source for learning about kindness, honesty, courage, and fairness. How do you do this? You do this by stories, books, movies, and made-up tales. You give them tales. Remember, I spoke about epic. Let me go over it again. Experiential. They want to see Dad do it. Epic generation. They are epic generation. Experiential. I want to type this out for us. Experiential, participatory, image-driven, and they are also connected generation. So when you look at this, the moral compass and value-driven storytelling, that is what we tell them. Africa is rich in storytelling. We have tales, tortoise, dogs. We have tales. This is one of the strategies that our forefathers used to train our mothers, our fathers. The children we give birth now, they want to be experiential. Let us share stories at this level from ages 3 to 5. Don't forget, this is the moment that we are laying the foundation of culture of discipline to them. Anything we miss at this moment, once we miss this foundation, once this foundation is not well laid, what we'll be doing later is repairing. What we'll be doing later is what? Is repairing. Because the foundation of the culture of discipline is best laid when the children are in the ages of 1 to 6. That is the foundation. And we must be able to give them that experiential learning, experiential story, the stories that teach values, the stories that teach virtues. If it is possible, give them that stories in your mother tongue. Give them the stories in your mother language, in your local dialect, if it is possible. And if it's not possible, you can still make do with English, but ensure that the stories you are telling them is African story. If you're an African parent, you are watching, make sure you teach them African stories. Then the second one, the social skill trainer and mediator. You are the social skill trainer and mediator, the social skill coach and mediator. Your responsibility here is to guide your children in navigating the complex world of friendship, sharing, and good play. Why does this matter? It matters because social dynamics become central. Your interventions move from stopping fights to teaching resolution. You are building the foundation for all future relationships. How do you do this? Pre-game social scenarios. Before a play date, discuss sharing and taking turns. Before a play date, let them know their own role in what they want to do. And when you are painting a scenario for them, paint a conflict resolution scenario to them. Let them figure out, in case they come across this difficulty as they grow up, how are they going to solve that? They will remember through the stage of the social skill trainer and mediator, my dad has narrated a story with me before, a story how their forefathers conquered a particular area, or a story how their forefathers mediated, served as mediators in a community conflict. Those are the things that we build problem-solving skill in them. Then the next one, the brain architect and creative problem solver. Our responsibility here is to move beyond basic play to nurturing complex thinking, imagination, and perseverance through challenges. How do you do this? Ask open-ended questions. Hey, fathers, let us begin to engage our children at this level. Let us ask open-ended questions. E.g., how could we build a bridge for your cars with these blocks? Or how do we build a bridge for your bicycle with this plank? Just create a scenario for them in the compound or outside the compound. How do you build this? You will know, you will understand that these children will figure out on how to do this. So when they grow older, when they grow maybe from age 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, they will remember when they were riding bicycle, when dad was teaching them bicycle. I recall my dad told me there was like a small bridge, like a small hole, and my dad taught me how to place a plank on that, and when we place a plank on it, then we cross to the other side. That will reconnect, will come into play in the life, in the memory of the child, and as a result of that, he has garnered some skills on how to solve problems, even from co-curricular activities and normal curricular activities. Then the fourth one, the identity and confidence builder. Fathers as the identity and confidence builder in the life of the children. What are the responsibilities here? It means that we are supposed to be actively reflect back to our children their unique strengths, efforts, and inherent worth, separate from achievements. Why does this matter? This age brings intense self-awareness and comparison. A father's affirmation is uniquely powerful in building a secure sense of self that is not dependent on peers or performance. How do you do this? Praise character and effort, not just outcomes. I've always been a firm believer of this. Not just outcomes of a chore we have given them. How did they go through these chores? Praise the characters they deploy in doing it, not the outcome. When we do that, we are helping them to monitor their character. We are helping them to pay attention to their values. We are helping them to be diligent in what they do, and we are helping them that they must not really, or they should not really focus on the outcome of an event alone, but the processes of an event. Then the next one, the word expander. The word expander means we are community connector. We are community connector. What are our responsibilities here? Our responsibility here is to be our children's primary guide to the wider world beyond them at home. We introduce community, nature, and our own passions. Why does this matter? It matters because we are their lens for understanding society, work, and nature. This builds context, vocabulary, and a sense of belonging to something larger than them, a bigger picture. How do we do this? We take them on dad's ventures alone. You take them out. Where are you taking them to? Take them to an orphanage. Let them see a world that they've never experienced. Where else do you want to take them to? Take them to a hardware store. Take them to a community-based activity. Take them to your social club, service club rather. Take them to service clubs, a Rotary club, a Lions club, or any other club that is built around service to humanity. Let them see how it's been done. When you do this, you are building in them their self-identity and confidence in them. Then the next one, the word expander. That's the word expander. That's the word expander. You teach them. We've already discussed the identity and confidence building. So we go to the last slide, which is the father's foundation, taking care of you. The father's foundation. What do we do here? We are We are the launch pad now, launch pad for learning. Our responsibility is to nurture a positive attitude toward education and hard work, focusing on curiosity, perseverance, and the value of effort over innate talent. The value of effort over innate talent. Don't forget, earlier on, I said we should praise them for the effort, not necessarily the outcome. Now we are talking about placing effort over innate talent. Talent is never enough. Why does this matter? The school can create anxiety and a fixed mindset for them. I'm not just good at maths. For instance, our role is to decouple self-worth from grades and teach that challenge. The challenge is where growth happens. How do we do this? Ask, what did you try hard at today? Instead, what grade did you get? Can you imagine that? We are launching them for learning. Instead of asking them, what was the score today? We can ask, what did you struggle at today? What did you try hard today? What stage? Or when they say they didn't get a question right, an answer right, what stage did you not get it right? You bring it to them. The two of you, or the three, can put us together and put them through. When we do that, they know that Dad is really interested in our efforts and not the final outcome. We have seen many parents, many fathers, right, before, that the only thing they look at, the report card of the children, is just how many grades do you have? How many A's? How many B's? How many prizes did you collect? Those are the things they are really interested in. They are not so interested in some other things, in the steps, in the effort. How did they arrive at those? So we must be able to focus on those areas by appreciating the effort and not necessarily the outcome. Now, the second one here is the social and emotional learning teacher. We are the social and emotional learning teacher to them. What's our responsibility? Our responsibility here is to guide our children through the increasingly complex social world of friendship, peer pressure, exclusive, and conflict. Exclusive and conflict. There are many images we can teach them to learn social and emotional learning. There are many images. If I remember any one of them before this program runs to an end, I will. Okay, one is iceberg. One is iceberg. Iceberg. What made up the iceberg? The 90% of what made the iceberg is below the sea level, while the 10% is just what we are seeing. How can we teach our children social and emotional learning using this iceberg? Meaning that what makes them to be who they are, it's innate. It is inside of them. The value inside of them, the culture inside of them, right? The virtues inside of them, character inside of them. Those are the content. The container is just what we are seeing outside. So 10% of what people are seeing outside is just their physical appearance. But the 90% using iceberg as an image to teach our children social and emotional learning says the 90% of core values they need to learn should be inside of them, not necessarily outward expression. Meaning they must focus in building their container rather than focusing on the content. I hope we are together. Then the third one, which is the character architect. The character architect says we must consciously model and explicitly teach honesty, courage, responsibility, and kindness, especially when it is hard. Here, when we take our children out, when we take them and expose them to a world that they've never experienced, a world they didn't know, as in taking them to a hospital, taking them to orphanage, taking them to service clubs where the people give to humanity. You take them to some places where they will look at it. Wow, this is life. This thing happened one day. I was driving out with my son, and we went to a particular area in Ikeja here in Lagos State, Nigeria, and we saw some children about his age. She was 12 or 13. She was 12. She was 11 going to 12 then. They were hawking on the road. And the next thing my son said is, their parents are wicked. Why are their parents allowing them to be doing this around? And I told my son, I said, the parents are not wicked. Maybe you want to say your grandmom was wicked because I hawked for my mom. And he said, yes, I know you told us you hawk. But anyway, but it's not good. I said, well, you are saying that it's not good because you are privileged to have a father or parents who really still feeds you without having you to run errands to hawk for them. Their parents don't have any other means than for the children to hawk for them. It is through what the children hawk. It is the sales proceeds from hawking that they will feed them, that they will give them school fees. So what are you saying? On that day, he learned it that there are some children that are not so privileged like he is. That is the character architect in them. Then the passion cultivator that we give them. Our responsibility here is to expose our children to diverse activities and interests, and more importantly, to create an environment where it is safe to try, struggle, and quit with dignity. We expose them to a moderate risk where it is safe to try, to struggle, and quit with dignity. For example, they have some activities in their school, maybe school prefect, where they are allowed to contest. Give them all the support. Let them try their luck. If they win, fine. If they lose, let them learn from what is happening. From what happened. School quiz, competitions, expose them, let them go. If they win the prize, fine. If they don't win the prize, teach them how to be resilient, even in the face of failure, in the face of disappointment, how to be resilient. Let them know that failure is part of life. Then the next one, the bridge to the wider world. Then we close. The bridge to the wider world and reality interpreter. Our responsibility as fathers is to gradually and appropriately interpret the world to them. It is systems and its challenges. It's systems and challenges, providing context and a sense of agency. Why does this matter? They are exposed to complex news, cultural issues, and adult conversation. Your calm, reasoned perspective helps them process information and understand their place in the world. How do you do this? explain things to them, how it works, from paying bills and how your job to local government, how your job to what you're doing, how your responsibility to your community in the estate where you are, what you are doing, what you are exposing them to do, what you're exposing them to will really build their self-worth. We build on how they're going to learn emotional intelligence. We build on how to relate with people. We build on how to even create their own entrepreneurial skill. You let them know what you earn, what you do, you let them know. You are making them, you are giving them the bridge to the wider world, the world that is beyond them. So, when we do this, in the next 6 years, we have already built emotionally strong adults in them. Because there is a research, I forgot that research, how it came out again. If I remember, in our WhatsApp platform, I will post it to us. The psychologists said that the children's brain is fully developed at age 6. Their brain is fully developed at age 6. They can comprehend anything. The only thing they need at that particular time is an adult, parents or teachers, to help them form their opinion based on what they have thought about. When you sit them down, you ask them questions, they bring it to you, then you will be able to put it in perspective. And that is what this area is telling us. Our job as we build, as we are the bridge to the wider world for them, is to help them put their thoughts in perspective so that they will not injure themselves, right? Anything that is happening around us, around them, we are going to be there for them. We explain to them. We just throw questions at them, over a dinner table. We ask questions. This is something that happened in Nigeria currently, or that is happening in Nigeria currently. How do you think this can be solved? They are intelligent enough to know how it can be solved, but they are not so wise to put it in different perspectives, because they are likely going to want it to happen now. They know what is not working and they know what can work, but what can work, we need to teach them how to put what can work in positive perspective, such that the outcome will not injure them and injure every other person in the society. So we are going to stop now. We promised 1 hour. This is exactly 1 hour that we have started. So can we have questions? Let's entertain questions so that it do not look like I'm the only one speaking. Questions? Questions. So in the absence of no other questions, we want in the absence of no other questions, we want to call it a night today. So, and let me say this, for the purpose of today's webinar, we created a link, and that is where we sent the information about the webinar to. And again, this platform is going to stay. It's going to stay. We're going to be engaging ourselves every day, and I'm going to be sending tips. I'm going to be sending some content curriculum into the WhatsApp group. So if you are on this call and you still want to be part of the WhatsApp, you can stay. And if you don't want to be part of the WhatsApp, you may excuse yourself. But I want to let you know that you won't really need to excuse yourself, because this is a platform where we will be engaging ourselves almost every day on what the challenges that any one of us is facing in fatherhood or parenting. And we have some resource people who are going to be giving us tips. You know, we can be in a group, in a group together, whereby no one is going to judge you. You ask any questions, you can say anything, in so much you are not really abusing people or causing some disharmony among us. So we're going to maintain strict adherence to the purpose for which the platform was created, and is to enlighten ourselves about parenting and fatherhood. So if you know that you want to invite some other people to join us in this, please invite them. Again, first week in February, we are going to have another webinar. I'm going to come up with another topic. So every month, we are going to be having this free webinar. It is free. It is not paid. So please let us feel free to invite others to join us. So thank you for your time once again. My name is Akin. So on behalf of my team, Parenmark Consult LLC, we say thank you for standing by us. So this is still going to be on our YouTube channel. If you still want to watch over again, it's going to be there. After you have watched, you want any question, please post your question to the platform. Then we will attend to it. I want to appreciate everybody. Thank you.